Yeah, yeah. I think this will be a great game to put on because there was, we can play better. I think they played hard. Um, they made plays when we needed to, but I think we can play cleaner, and so this will be a good tape to put on and clean up. Yep, yep. We knew that, and you can see it. I mean, we know these kids that they have on their team. I mean, we looked at a lot of them, we recruited some of them, and so they're young, and so they'll continue to build and get better. You can see they got playmakers. Yeah, from what I could see from the sideline, it was nothing that they hadn't showed on tape. I mean, they did a nice job. We blitzed them. They got the ball out of their hands quickly. Just kind of dink and dunk, and then they hit us a little bit downfield, mixed that up. They got in third and short, got under center, converted the first downs. They did a nice job of just kind of milking the clock, hanging on to it, and shortening the game up, as they got back into it. So it was, when you have the ball one time in a quarter and don't do anything with it, that's not a good feeling. Yeah. Well, I think we learned a hard lesson earlier in the year. I think we got stopped on a fourth down when we ran a sneak and should have never happened. And so we actually worked on it quite a bit. And I think those guys take a little bit of pride in trying to move guys a little bit. And you should be able to, get inches, when you're running a sneak. Yeah, I mean, I think that's his game. I say it every week. As long as he's kind of moving up into the pocket and keeping his eyes downfield, we want him to run. I mean, he's got a good feel for it. He's slippery. He's crafty when he runs, and we really want that to be part of his game. Yeah, we've been saying this. I mean, Miles and Savon get a lot of the carries, but Sean McGrew and Kamari Pleasant, those guys are good players, and their time will come. And it's a tough position those guys play, and we need another guy to step up. They do. And Sean didn't miss a beat. Sean's got really good vision. He's slippery. He's hard to tackle. And, again, the game was kind of on the line. He did a nice job. Well, I think that, Keith Bonifant does a nice job always rotating those guys. And, Miles had a lot of carries. It's tough sledding out there, and felt the next best option was to get him in. I have no idea why he left my alma mater, and I wish he wouldn't have. But he's a good player. You could see it on tape. Yeah. They got, I think you got to have a handful of backs. I think they have some good backs, but he's kind of, I guess, had the hot hand, and he's a good player. We just stick to our process. We put this game, we got a lot to clean up. We'll do our deal, getting better with the mistakes we made and clean those up, and then we move on. We just stick to how we have always done it. Yeah, it's hard for me to know from afar. I mean, they got a young team, a new staff. They have some talented guys. We know what that process is like going through, and we know a lot of those coaches here at UCLA, and they do a good job. And they'll get them going. It's good. Okay, thanks, guys.
We hunker down, we put our heads down, and we roll off the ball, and that's there's no science to it. I mean, we just roll off the ball, stay low, let him find the crease there where he knows that he can get the first down. So I mean,
is that about as good a feeling as there is for an offensive lineman?
For sure.
7 on 4th and 1.
For sure. Yeah.
Everyone knows what you're doing.
Yeah, we love wedge. We tell them to run wedge. If it was 4th and 1 on the -20. We want to run a wedge, but there's football needs to be played. So, we pride ourselves on wedge. And that one wedge we didn't get a couple weeks ago. I forgot what game that was. We didn't get a wedge, and we got a lot of backlash for that from the coaches. So we're not gonna not get a wedge. So there we go.
What's the key on his other runs, on those scrambles? How hard is it as an offensive line, because you're not really sure always what's going on behind you, just to hold that block and give him some lane somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, it's just we got to just cover up our men and block as long as we can, and we let Jake do his thing. I mean, Jake's a great quarterback, as everybody knows. So we just do our job and then let him find the lane. If he needs to run, if nobody's open, then he'll run. And if we give him enough time, he'll put the ball there. So that's it.
have a really good scheme. Obviously, Coach Kelly's been doing it for a long time, and I think the college game really fits his style a little bit. And I think talent-wise, I mean, UCLA is always going to have the guys, and I think they started executing a little bit better than they have this season. They kind of found something that's worked, and I think, and they started making some plays and getting some confidence. And I think when you have a team that's young like that, once you get a little confidence, it means kind of the world to them. So I think that's one of those teams that if they get going a little bit, they're going to be a threat to anybody.
Was this maybe something you guys needed as a defense, getting to the fourth quarter, needing to make some
plays?
I mean,
it's always good to have to be in a tight game and have to make some plays. And I think probably from the outside people wouldn't have expected that. Like I said, looking at the record, but we knew coming to this game that this was going to be a dogfight. We've watched their games. They've been with every team pretty much up into the fourth quarter, and they've had some things here and there that haven't gone right for them. And I think they played probably their most complete game today. They played some good defense. They stopped us pretty good in the second half, and on offense they were making plays. They were driving. So I think that's a good football team.
Do you think do you think it's fair that people from the outside who haven't watched the game maybe will see that?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy if you're a fan. You don't know. You see the record, and it's easy to do that. Even when I watch NFL, I see a record. I'm like, oh, these guys, they must not be good. They don't have any wins. But you look at the schedule they played. I mean, I think their opponents combined were like maybe 15-2 or
17-1.
Yeah, I mean, they've played a crazy schedule. They're going through the meat grinder right now. So I think it's a testament to their coaches that they came out. They played so hard today after the way their season started. And I really think they're going to knock off a lot of people down the stretch here.
And what does it say about you guys to get through something?
Yeah, I mean, I think it says a lot about our character. I think it shows that we're a veteran team. We got a lot of old guys, and I think it'd be easy to kind of maybe roll over when they start fighting back like that. I think maybe when I was a freshman and we were just kind of getting it, we might not have won this game. But I think you saw the maturity. There was no panic. There was nothing like that on offense or defense. We knew we just had to keep swinging and we'd make the plays and get it done.
You mentioned how big confidence would be for a young team like that. Do you think that's what was going on with them in the second half when they were able to really get that offense going?
I think they've watching their film, they've had a lot of games. They've made some big plays. They haven't been able to really string much together. And I think today they were actually able to start making drives, less explosives, more actually driving down the field. And I think that does a lot, especially for an O-line and running back. Just feel like they can really kind of work their way down the field. And I think when you get that confidence, it just goes over to everybody.